talk about. We can just talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, we on.
I'm about to just start the show.
Sorry.
Yeah, good.
Because we already on. Hey, what's going on, everybody? You are now tuned in to the Pure Black Dope Podcast, and you are here with Taj AlexandHer, the Holy Trinity of Hip Hop, and we also have
it's Webb Primo, aka the Short Side Shorty.
Psychedelic Sam in the building.
Yeah, we in the building, y'all. And you know, we've been talking about the podcast a little bit. We talking a little bit about what we about to bring to the table, and a subject that kept popping up is hip hop, right? And we were kind of talking about what's going on in today's game and what's been going on over the last 20, 30 years. Because, you know, in case y'all didn't know, we all millennials here. But we're like stuck in the middle. We're from the new generation and the old generation. So we got a lot of knowledge that's mixed up in there. We see what's going on. So we're gonna sit back and chop it up a little bit. So fam, is y'all ready?
Let's get it.
Y'all ready for this game, right?
Last of a dying breed, man.
Last of a dying breed. Who was the first to bring that up? That came from hip hop, didn't it?
Last
Jay-Z?
of a dying breed.
Oh, hold on. It was somebody that said it.
Nah, it ain't coming from hip hop.
It didn't come from hip hop?
It had to come from some Hercules shit.
He said some Hercules stuff. So Last of a Dying Breed. Didn't somebody name that album Last of a Dying Breed?
Look it up.
Yeah, let me look.
We were told that we gotta look stuff up now. So
Nah, it's the option. The option's there.
Yeah, use our tools.
Use your tools for you. Hey, family, use your tools out there. If you got the hammer and the nail, ain't no need for no butter knife. Ain't no need for it.
Oh, Ludacris.
Luda.
And Jeezy had a song called Last of a Dying Breed. Scarface had an album called Last of a Dying Breed.
So maybe he was the first. Scarface.
I can feel it in the air.
So listen.
Is that him?
Scarface? Nah,
that was
my bad.
Beanie Siegel.
Oh.
Nah, but it's funny y'all said that, the Last of a Dying Breed, cause that kind of stems from that whole mindset of the last of the real niggas, right? So why y'all think it's a whole chant of last of a dying breed, or why is there a thing that a certain breed is dying?
It's the last of the Mohicans, man. It's just only a certain like it's just like the era with like, you know, every once in a while you got that person like LeBron that come out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, it's just a certain way certain people are raised. You know what I mean? And it changes through generation.
So you saying there was once a land of LeBrons, and now there's a land of Hardens?
Nah, I'm just saying.
I think Harden looks good as shit.
I'm saying the game does change the game style. Like, people, like, you know what I mean? What you say? You say, like, anyway, I know,
James Harden could get it. Sorry. Keep going. My bad.
everybody wanted to play like Jordan at one time, and then you know, everybody switched their style up to like AI. You know what I mean? Then you see a lot of people emulating like LeBron, and then D Wade, and there was different mellows in the league. You know what I'm saying? It's like a trend that goes by like with the wind. It only stays momentarily. It don't linger. You know what I mean? The next may not be as strong as the ones before them.
Well, not to get into like horoscopes or anything, because that's gonna be on another segment, guys. Stay tuned. But you know, this is gonna get deep. But we all have in our like birth charts, we all have like different. It's like decades last, not decades, but it's like generations last for a certain amount of years. So a lot of people that were born in your year think differently than, you know, a generation that's born 6 or 7 years down the line.
Right.
So it's something that's like, you know, a lot of the minds change, you know, awareness changes. So like, I feel like the saying "the last of a dying breed" is, you know, just for that generation. It's not specifically for, you know, shoot, the dying breed might be bad. I feel like the old folks need to die for real.
Oh,
they be
snap.
like, man, they be that generation
snap,
be
old
so
folks.
lost. They be so
Y'all gotta
lost.
get out of here.
I'm sorry, but they be so
It's
lost.
over for you.
They be so lost. Like, I feel really bad for the old folks out here. They be lost, man.
Yeah, a lot of the old folks, they're really, really against the technology. They're against the privacy invasion.
Right.
Like, but I feel what they, you know, what they saying. I got this friend. He's almost 70. He's always talking about how the climate's changing. Always talking about how, you know, everything's changing as far as technology, and he's not with it, and, you know, blah 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 blah. And it's like, man, I get where he's coming from, because they're coming from a whole different thing of privacy. They're not trying to give up their privacy for whatever's going on in technology, because they're like, the internet. Well, what is the internet? So
Yeah, they didn't have to go, you know, to pay a bill. They didn't have to go on the internet. They could just send a check in, which was probably better because you checks and balances and stuff like that. I was watching this documentary about how back in the day, like, now we're on like a barter system. Meaning, like, we don't have money to actually pay for shit. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's why we're in debt. Rather than, like, how the older people, like, if they didn't have it, they wouldn't spend it because they didn't have, like, that line of credit. So that put them, all of us in debt and shit. So, in that sense, don't die, old people. But, spread your knowledge. Like, I feel like they should spread their knowledge more, but they just be holding back.
I don't know. But maybe that. What do you think about the gap between old rappers and new rappers? Because you know, there's this whole beef between the boom bap and the 808s. You know, I think it's kind of interesting because the whole argument is like all the boom baps. They're like, you know, we gonna get money. We gonna do our drink, pop our pill, whatever we want to do, because, you know, y'all messed up, basically.
And you think the old rappers used to talk about popping pills and doing drugs?
I think they did talk about it, but they didn't talk about it. No, let me take that back.
Yeah.
They didn't talk about it, because I've heard of dudes like Wu-Tang talk about smoking crack, really.
Shit, for
yeah,
real?
smoking cess. Like, it's in that, even that song, Cream, Cash Was Everything Around Me. Cream get the money, dollar out of the bill. In that song, I forget which rapper it was. Dude was talking about smoking cess.
Smoking weed and cess.
Yeah.
Inspector Deck and Raekwon. They free based and shit too. Like, cocaine was a rich drug too. You know what I'm saying? If you had that shit, it wasn't what we know now. We didn't really know back then like that.
Yeah, but
You know
but at the same time, you know, we talk about that specific line. But other than that, I always hear Wu-Tang. They always spitting some science. You know what I'm saying? You don't just be talking about 93 million miles away from K1 to represent the nation. This is the gathering of the masses that come. You know, they talking about the distance from the sun to the planet and things like that. You know,
Definitely.
so
They
I don't.
used to spit the knowledge. I feel like the knowledge was out there more, and we were a lot cleaner. If that makes sense.
When you say cleaner, what you mean? Like not cussing?
No, we were a lot cleaner with a lot of the distractions. We could read more. We were more focused on knowledge, and they were speaking knowledge. I mean, come on, Tupac was speaking knowledge. He said he read. That's all he did was just read. And, you know, nowadays we kind of like have our generation, they're not getting knowledge. They're going off what the next person's saying, or they're going off of social media or something like that. They're not really spitting knowledge. They're spitting drugs, talking about drugs. They might have knowledge in the drug game because they're on drugs, but it was never like knowledgeable information. It was worth it.
Do y'all know any rappers right now who are out right now who are spitting about some knowledge and mixing it up with the ratchet, mixing it up with what's going on in the hood? Like,
Like I was gonna say, I mean, you can say like J. Cole and stuff, but I was gonna say back to you know, the thin line between the, you know, the old rappers and the new rappers. Like, there's also rappers that just can get with it. You know, they just stick with, like, get with the time and stuff. You know, like Fab. Yeah. Fab is like a Vince Carter.
New album?
Which one?
The new one that just came out?
Yeah.
It was hot.
It was hot. Summertime Shootout.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, like he like a Vince Carter of the industry. For real.
Yeah.
You know, so he been in the game since the '90s for real. You know
yeah, he been around for a minute.
He was born in '77.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, we were looking it up the other day because we were like, damn, how it took him a long time to like kind of with his love life, because he was talking about it a lot in that album. Was like, you know, like time's not up. Like, don't ever, like, he was like, the most someone can ever give you is time. Because he was like, you know, it's not, he pretty much is saying like how he fucked up as a man and like, you know, and stuff like that. We're like, man, how old is he? He was.
But he came out when he was young though.
Yeah, he was like 17, 18.
He was young, yeah.
They said they was called, his name was Sport. That was a street name.
Sport?
Yeah.
Okay. Sport the Fab.
F-O-B-O.
Yeah, he nice though, man. I like what he's doing. And he's a big example of that longevity game. Like, you can only name a few people that's really been doing it since the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
And he's nice with he's like his metaphors make you think. That's the best type of rhyming for real. Anytime you hear a metaphor that make you think, that's your brain working. You know what I'm saying? So like,
that's like an actual artist to me.
Yeah.
For you to actually put something to make somebody think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the artist.
Putting a puzzle, help you make a puzzle.
I feel like Taj,
together.
you're like that. You're definitely
I can
like
be.
That. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Shay, I'm not a mumble rapper, y'all. I'm not a mumble. I'm not a.
You know who else I like? I fuck with Nas. Like, I liked his. He put a lot of information out there too. Back in the day.
I didn't like his project with Kanye.
You talking about the newest joint?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, it was kind of suspect.
What happened? I didn't listen to it. It was an album?
I mean, some of the beats was hot, but the production was a little.
Which beat was hot?
I like some of the beats.
7 songs on there. What beat was hot?
I like some of the beats, man.
I like one beat on there, and that was
the
Adam
one? The Cop Shot
joint.
the Kid.
Hell no, I don't like that shit. Cop Shot the Kid. I get the sample. I like Slick Rick.
Yeah.
But the cop shot the kid. The cop shot the cop.
Annoying,
That's
right?
all you heard, yo. Like god damn.
It's programming.
That shit is annoying. Like, yo, I am not trying to hear that. You want me listening to Slick Rick? You want me to hear Nas? You know what I mean?
You didn't like none of it though?
I was not happy with it because when I'm listening to Nas, I'm thinking about he gonna come back with the you know what I mean, Blazer 50 type Nas shit. Like,
Okay.
You know what I mean? I want to hear that. I don't want to hear him. I understand we going through, you know, this, that, and the third, but you can still. I don't know. I just like I ain't like the beat selection. Okay. That's what really threw it off. His lyrics was cool.
Who produced it? Was it
Kanye.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
It's just I like Kanye. He had a big message in his last album. A lot of his albums, you know, like even though it's focused towards Christianity and like his religion, but he was talking about how like we need to put the phones down, pay attention to our kids, pay attention to our family. He had a lot of like messages for a lot of people. If you kind of look past this whole
the stuff that's in the media.
Yeah, if you look past everything, he has a lot of messages in his music too.
Yeah, that's why I listen to his music, because his music always makes sense to me. I don't really be caring what he be doing on TV, because I know that's what it's about, the propaganda and getting people's attention. I just know that.
Do you think that's how he is?
In real life? I mean, I'm
know,
pretty sure he's adopted it to a big extent, just because that's been his character for a long time. I don't know if you can play that role that long and not adopt the characteristics of that character.
Because he's always been that outcast, that, you know what I mean? Like, remember when he stole the mic from Taylor Swift? Like,
yeah, that was when TV was dope.
Though, like, now I believe he was somewhat sober when he said that George Bush don't care about black people.
You think it was sober?
I think he was sober when he said that. I think that was like straight up him taking advantage of his voice and saying it. And like who could not agree with it? You had people that wanted to agree with it and didn't want to agree with it, still not being able to say
Shit was
either
fucked
or.
up.
Yeah,
How long did it take them to get
up?
to Katrina?
How long did
No,
what?
I'm saying it was fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? The whole situation. How long did it
They
take
knew
them
they
to
knew it
actually
was gonna
get
happen. They knew it was gonna happen. They knew
to...
the
the
levees
levees
was weak.
were weak.
Yeah,
right.
they knew that.
Like,
Yeah.
this shit's crazy.
But with the Taylor Swift thing, he was drunk. That's him not being able to not being able
think he
to
was
control his
drunk?
actions. Yeah, he was drunk.
Like, Beyonce deserved this
He
award.
said he was
Wouldn't
drunk.
it Beyonce deserve the
He
award or
blamed-
something?
Yeah, he blamed it on his
he
alcohol.
said.
Beyonce deserved this goddamn
Yeah,
award.
he said Beyonce had the greatest video, which she
Yeah, she
did.
had the
She did have the
greatest-
Oh, that was a
best.
single ladies? No.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was Single
I
Ladies.
think it was that
Yeah.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that album, yeah, she deserved it. But him going up there doing it, that was him not being able to control his actions.
No, I just think he just doesn't give a
That
fuck.
was
He do that a lot though.
legendary,
Nah,
Like,
he was
he-
drunk.
Taylor Swift, she said, like, he says that he gave her fame because of him doing the shit.
That helped a lot.
He did. He did.
Yo, for real, I was on the Taylor Swift probably around that time, but when he did that,
You were like,
I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
he
who
brought
is
her
this?
into
Who's
pop.
going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was straight country then. He brought her into pop.
And Beyonce, she basically outclassed everybody because at the end of the show, she was like, she won another award, and she gave that time to Taylor Swift so she could do her thing that same night. It was a dope award show. I was
That was
really
kinda
into
cool.
the award shows then. Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. But I think Kanye, he knows what he's doing in a lot of ways.
I think he speaks a
I
lot of
think so,
truth.
yeah.
My personal opinion.
I think, like you said, he don't give a fuck at times, and he just kind of maneuver after the shit is already
He's
been
a Trump
set
supporter.
sail. You know what I mean? I think he can't control his actions when he under the influence, and I think he just plays a role for the money. He trying to be Walt Disney, like he said. He trying to be these rich motherfuckers that worship the devil and did all that crazy shit.
I don't
Got
think that's
away.
I don't know if
true.
he's a devil
away.
I
worshiper.
don't think that's true.
Walt Disney is a devil worshiper.
I mean, who am I to say
I
that
don't care.
anybody's a devil worshiper? I don't.
I mean,
know.
I'm just saying about these niggas that he mentioned.
What
you
you
know
talking
what I'm saying?
about?
He
The
don't
people
wanna
he
be-
mentioned saying that they are devil
What he said,
worshippers.
I want to be, what's the nigga that died? Giovanni Versace. He wanted to be all these people that are rich and stuff, and
Because of their money or
Did
because
they?
of like
because of their money. You know, it's gotta be like, and then he want the legacy behind it, but which he gonna have a legacy, regardless. But he doing all this shit for the money, yo, and all that extra shit that he doing.
I don't think so.
I don't know, but
I'm a Kanye West. I think that he's.
I'm a fan of his music.
I'm
but
a fan of who he is.
I don't like his newest music like that.
I think he got a lot of hot music. Yo. He's still putting out hot music. I just think that he's really misunderstood because the media the media is not really gonna give you a clear picture of who he is.
I don't think he misunderstood. I think I know exactly who that nigga is.
I don't know, man, because it could be all smoke screens and mirrors.
I mean,
At the end of the day, that's just the character that he's playing. Let's just give you a scenario. Let's take
Even
a
like
rapper
Floyd.
like Trina. Let's take a rapper like Trina. Let's say she's a straight virgin, but because she puts out that image of being the baddest chick, the nasty chick, you don't know Nan. She puts out this image. She has to keep up this image all the time.
But Trina was a stripper.
Let's say behind the scenes she ain't
And-
never had sex.
And her baby, her boyfriend at the time was Trick Daddy brother, who was big time drug dealer.
It all fits the narrative. It
But
all
that
fits the
was-
That's the
character.
real-
Yeah.
nah, you know, back then you
Okay,
had to
so-
really be about what you talked about.
Are you saying like him going out and saying he's a Trump supporter and that
He
slavery
don't
was
really
a
mean
choice?
a lot of this shit that
Look,
he
yo.
say. He doing it for the money.
does.
First of all, I think that in order to tell anybody anything, you have to be able to get their attention. And he's getting people's attention on a huge scale. So what better way to get somebody's attention than to go talk to the most hated person in the news right now,
Exactly.
which is Donald Trump.
Exactly.
I'm voting.
It's for the money.
Again.
It's for the exposure.
for-
The
it's-
exposure's for the money.
Or whatever he wants. Because he could be trying to put messages out. He could be trying to sell albums, like whatever he
just
wants.
like-
Because once he got your attention, he can tell you whatever he wants.
He just like Trump. He just want to be able to tell people what to do. He want to be able to say, I did it.
That's what
I
he
don't
wants.
think that's the case.
That's what he
I
wants.
did it because you said I couldn't do it.
I
He
think
had
that's.
that
I think he
ego
has
ever since.
a lot of rappers got that drive. A lot of people got that drive.
A lot of people have that drive, but not that to that naive, like that immaturity.
You think he's immature?
The way they handle it, of course, the way Donald Trump and Kanye, like, you know what I mean, came to power, like how they wagging their finger at the damn country and shit. Like, we put a lot of money in their pockets, and then they shit on niggas. You know what I'm saying?
I think Donald Trump is trying to make people understand who they are. And I think that he's one of the greatest presidents that we ever had.
She
He's
said,
trying to
she
make us
said
understand
try to
that we
understand who we are. I mean,
He's very outspoken.
maybe.
And that they the wolves because they got the money.
No, he's the If you want to do a segment, we got to do a segment on politics, y'all.
I'm gonna leave that to y'all. I'm not that well versed in politics.
You want to do it? We got.
Even though I could have
Okay.
really strong opinions, but I'd rather stay away from it.
Don't get mad at me. If I
Don't
say
get offended either. Alright, Pinky promise we not gonna fight after
I'm
this shit.
gonna let y'all have that segment.
Alright.
We gonna need
Stay
a
tuned,
referee
y'all.
in here, y'all. We gonna need some bodyguards.
Stay tuned.
We gonna need it all.
Shoot, we need an audience. Boo.
I know.
One's like, yay.
We need a
Shit,
debate
they probably
audience.
boo me.
We gotta get the artificial
Depend on
boos
the
and,
audience.
and the artificial claps. Just push the buttons.
yeah.
Yeah, all that. But yeah, so we was talking a little bit about hip hop and like old school hip hop. I know we was talking about Kanye and his whole antics. What y'all think about rappers who basically are, you know, they come from the poverty, get, you know, these big breaks off of hip hop, whether they making like 6 figures, 7 figures, and then they keep going in and out of jail.
Like a Meek situation.
It's happened to Meek.
Kodak Black.
Kodak, it happened to him a lot.
Kodak.
It did happen to
Kodak
him a
cannot
lot.
stay out. I don't know. I feel like Meek. Did y'all watch the interview on him? Like he was talking about how.
I've been a follower of Meek since Meek was in the Bloodhouse. Like, I've been watching on YouTube back in 2007 and shit, 2006, 2005 and all of that. So like I watched a lot of it do come from harassment with him on his case, but
With the police harassing him.
yeah, because they was harassing everybody in Philly at the time. Especially, you know what I mean? You gotta think that was a time where niggas wasn't. You didn't see people walking down the street while looking at their phone and be texting and stuff. And that was around that time. You was up with your head on the swivel, and he was he definitely was out there. I ain't gonna say a lot of it. He violated from peeing dirt and shit, but it was a lot of harassment too. Like, it's a corrupt situation with me.
But y'all, before we started the show, somebody was talking about Tekashi. You was talking about Tekashi, and that whole situation.
What? You was talking about Tekashi.
Yeah, both of y'all.
I'm joking. It was me.
But the way that everything was playing out in 2019, like his whole rise to fame, and then how he just fell off the earth because, well, actually, you want to know, he didn't fall off the earth. That whole situation with him snitching kind of rose him up to a whole new level of fame that's never been attained. Like I've never seen anything like that.
Snitching in the industry all day, every day. Like his just kind of like was a little hardcore because you say you blood this and what up blood, and he snitched on the whole.
He didn't
gang.
even say it right. He didn't even look right saying that shit. That's,
I didn't know how he was Mexican could be a blood. Is that possible? I don't know. Is that possible?
I don't know the rules.
yeah, I don't know how niggas doing it now.
I don't know the rules, but I do know that a lot of dudes is getting caught up. They're getting caught up over that, and dudes is telling on themselves. They had the whole situation where, I think what happened. He was getting robbed on camera, and
Yeah, they were fucking with him.
I don't know. I don't know, yo. It's a whole lot of
He
things
should have
surrounding
known
him.
what he was getting himself into. He's a dummy. They said he was in remedial classes when he was in school.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's slow, yo.
I think he was brilliant when it came to the damn music.
He's a schemer, yo.
I think he's really brilliant and really cool when it comes to interviews. If you listen to his interviews, like the one that he had on Breakfast Club, what's his name? Charlamagne was basically trying to make him look stupid, but he was on there just giving him the work on some. He's really intelligent with his answers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of
what answers, yo?
Yo, everything. Did you watch it?
Yeah,
Man.
The one where he had something. It was like something colorful or real colorful or something.
Man.
He had glasses.
I can't even pinpoint a certain situation
first
right
one,
now.
There's two of them.
It's the one that blew up.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Both of them blew up, yo. The first one blew up.
But I was also listening to his because they had the things on his trial when he was supposedly snitching and all that, and I was just listening to how he was playing with the judge, and the judge started getting irritated with him because he was kind of like dancing around things and not really. He was basically over snitching in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm about to say not bouncing around. No, he was telling everything.
He was over snitching, and the judge was getting annoyed. Like, what the fuck? You didn't have to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Was it true that he was like talking about like randomly brought up people? Like just like randomly, because you know how you said like
it wasn't random with Jim Jones though.
No.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Jim Jones is actually he part of that gang or whatever. 6ix9ine trade.
You talking about this interview?
I think it's that one. That's the second
Oh,
one.
that's the second one.
That's when he
why he fired his team and
that
stuff
very
like
weekend.
that.
Yeah, that weekend he got locked.
Okay.
That was the one where he was talking about why his team, he fired all his team and stuff.
Yeah, he had just got robbed and shit. And the dude was hitting this girl.
Yeah.
And they just used him, and he allowed them to use you. People gonna use you regardless in the world, but it's all in who you allow to use you. He allowed.
I don't think he was about that life to kind of stop it.
He wanted,
either.
he didn't have no. They say he was a low life. They say he was like working as a busboy, and he would entertain people by coming to work wearing skirts and dresses and colorful shit. Like he was just a clown for real.
Yeah.
Just doing anything for money. And then he got into the music and shit. Like I looked up, I wanted to know about this nigga because I felt like it was either one or two things going on with this nigga. He was either a motherfucking killer out there, really went out there and was shooting people and got that much clout from all these niggas in this neighborhood in Brooklyn, or this nigga was you know what I mean, getting butt fucked by the top gangster, and he was like, you in a neutral zone. So I wanted to know what the fuck was going on, because this nigga was gay looking. He don't look right, he don't sound right saying this gang shit. Niggas been around gangsters and shit, and he didn't sound authentic at all. He didn't look authentic. It just didn't seem right. So,
but
like,
you know, there's another theory about him saying basically that he was like In Too Deep. I don't know if you ever seen that movie In Too Deep with LL Cool J and what was that? Omar Epps. Yeah. So basically, they were saying that he was like an informant or a cop the whole time.
Omar Epps,
yeah. Nah, I'm talking about with 6ix9ine situation. Basically saying that he was a cop the whole time, and his like just a whole breakdown of his so-called genius or whatever. His role was to infiltrate this gang or whatever, get inside, and just create all this havoc.
It was the driver, yo. Like the footage of him getting robbed, the driver, he was the informant. He was a molester. Like he molested like his niece or something. So they got him on the charges, and then they installed a camera in his van. And that's how they got set up the whole shit, because they was tapping Jim Jones and them, Mel Murder, shoddy. They was tapping all their cars and shit. And that's how they knew that was going to happen. Then when they seen it happen, once it happened or whatever, and then I think Jim Jones said he was going to super violate him or whatever.
Yeah.
That's when they picked up Tekashi, because he had got robbed and shit, and they picked him up, and that's when they told him that your life's in danger. And then from that point on, that's when he became an informant. He ain't been out since. But like, yeah, that's how that shit happened.
They probably in the business in jail.
They said his life is in
probably
danger.
in solitary confinement.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure he's probably in confinement.
I was gonna say, if you snitch like that,
Yeah, his life is in danger.
I don't know, man. I think you.
I mean, how fucked
you gotta
up
consider
is it, though?
he got his status, and if he is part of the police, the protection he got there.
How much that's gonna last though? You gotta think about it. Think about it.
Can I ask you a question though?
Mm-hmm.
See how this gang shit is such an important, like him snitching on people and stuff like that. What about like Trayvon Martin, the guy that killed what's his name?
George Zimmerman.
Yeah, like Zimmerman still, like people, y'all, like I feel like people are focused on the wrong shit.
What do you think is wrong? What's
I
right?
feel like hip hop and stuff like that just focuses on the wrong stuff.
Well,
like they influence gangs, they influence drugs, they influence all this. Why don't you influence people in a beneficial way by teaching them who they are, or like just real shit that's going on? Like Taj, the reason that I like reached out to you is I heard something in your like raps about the Jim Crow, and people don't talk about that. So like, you know what I mean? Like talk about real shit that's going on.
That's what hip hop comes from that. That's how it used to
It's
be.
not
but
like that anymore at
No,
all.
that's
like they
because
just talk about gang banging, fucking bitches,
the executives
and getting high.
they do this on purpose. Like it's the agenda.
It's entertainment.
Yeah, they only want the certain people talk about certain stuff on the radio, so they ain't gonna put nobody like
Like you guys
Taj.
want to kill 6ix9ine
Nah,
but,
snitching on some shit that you already did. Like I'm not in the streets. This is how I look at it. You do it. The truth is the truth.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying though.
The truth
all
is
the way.
fucking truth.
The truth is the truth. A lot of rappers feel like they are
Above the law.
given the gospel though when they talk about guns, drugs, hoes.
They talk about it all the
strippers.
time. In
But
their video.
I've been hearing it for 30 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing's really changed except for the cadence. You know, like of course I used to hear more empowering things back in the day, I think. Like with they used to get more political and tell you about what's like bigger things that's going on in the street.
I think it's still going on. It's just more subliminal.
You think it's more subliminal?
Like they
when
can't
have to?
outright say
It's like
it.
This is America. It had to be subliminal as shit. That song. Like,
I didn't understand that.
I mean,
At all.
it was more of a visual thing.
I didn't understand that.
If you look
that
at
video.
if you look at the video, like all of the poses when they shot the dude in the back of the head, that was supposed to mean something. Everything was visual.
Fuck Donald Trump by YG and Nipsey Hussle. That was political.
Maybe that's why Nipsey Hussle.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Hey yo.
Rest in peace, Nipsey.
I don't know,
Think you
man.
say something about you like niggas with beards?
I ain't say that.
You said something like
I would, yeah. Who did I say? Oh, James Harden. You
Yeah.
talking about the James Harden?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's where you got that from.
Nipsey had a beard, yeah.
Nipsey remind me of an old Snoop Dogg.
An old
Yo,
Snoop-
speaking
Like a
of
young
Snoop Dogg,
Dogg.
you know they was trying to say that Snoop snitched.
He's a gay. I'm pretty sure.
They was trying to say he snitched. Remember when he got that
Ice
that
Cube.
murder case?
And Ice-T.
Nah, I thought
They all snitched.
I heard it was because they rushed up on him in the studio.
They rushed up on him in the studio.
Suge and them people rushed up on him in the dog pound. And apparently, what's the name? Corrupt was the only one that stood his ground.
That was down.
Yeah. But Snoop told the police that Suge sent the people out there to get him, and he had something to do with killing Tupac. Yeah, that's what
I don't
Snoop
know.
said.
No, but this was before Pac died. This was when he had the murder case. Remember when Snoop had that murder case
Oh yeah.
before Pac died?
I don't think he snitched on that. The dude took it.
I don't know. I'm just saying what they said. They said.
What about Shine? Remember him?
Sean.
He took one for somebody.
For Diddy.
Puff.
For Diddy.
Yeah, but it's probably deeper than that. When I say he took one for somebody, I don't think it was just Diddy, man. I think it was deeper.
Oh no, it was a hit on Diddy, and he told Sean to shoot at him, protect him. And he shot at him because he thought Puff was going to give him the lawyers to get him free. And he's like, nah.
And he turned his back on him.
Yeah, he was like, I ain't had nothing to do with that.
Damn. That's messed up, though, to be in that type of situation. But hip-hop has been raw for a minute, though. It's been really raw. Why y'all think it's so infiltrated with the streets? Because you was just talking about how, you know, you want to hear different content. You heard something in my content that was like some Jim Crow.
The streets buy it. Shit, you got white boys fucking sitting there rapping like 6ix9ine, like
This started from
or
the
whatever.
streets, yeah.
Like, you know
But they
what
say
I mean?
that more white people buy hip hop more than black people.
I'm pretty sure because that shit is interesting as fuck. Like, you think that life is like that, or you know about it's probably very interesting.
That's probably you could probably say that, but that could be faulty statistics because they probably just going off of people that got iTunes. Not a lot of black people got iTunes. You know what
I mean, they have to go by the streaming services now because
You can't
nobody's
buy the
really
CDs.
listening to CDs.
Can you buy the CDs still?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you can.
Copy somewhere.
But even if you buy a CD from like Walmart or like Best Buy somewhere, they can record all that too. So everything's recorded.
I don't know. I just think that we need to talk about this stuff. I feel like it's very influential. Say the word.
Influential.
Yeah, what you said. But I think it's very, you know, they're entertainers, and these people be like cherishing them or like, oh my gosh.
It's
like,
just the generation that the kids is fucked, yo. The kids is
I
fucked.
feel like our generation did the same shit.
I thought we was corrupt too, but not like this.
I feel like we did the same thing.
You don't think it's worse now?
I feel like it's worse now because look at Future. Like, my whole thing is like Future's our age and he's talking about fucking doing all this other shit, pop mollies.
But he's not telling people to do it though.
He
That's
makes
the
it
thing.
sound fun as fuck. I'm popping Molly's fucking bitches. Oh, that sounds fun. Let's pop a Molly.
Fuck some bitches.
Fuck some bitches.
Or it
Like,
can sound vulgar as fuck if you grew up in a house where that shit ain't, you know what I mean?
or it could be intriguing.
But the thing is, it's dance music, and people are not only just listening to it, they're dancing off of it, which is mixing different races. Because if you go on different apps like TikTok, you know, I see a bunch of white girls dancing off of hip hop music.
I was a huge fan of DJ Screw and Michael 5000 Watts at an early age, and I never was influenced to do lean. I never did lean.
I don't know. I mean
DJ
that's we're a part of a dying breed, right?
Yeah. I'm
so
a
I
stronger,
mean, you got that strong mentality.
Yeah.
Not everybody has that strong mentality. I know, like I, put myself out there. Like I hit a vibration, like listen to some music that put me in a downer type area that made me want to try certain shit. So it's like, it's all about frequencies and vibrations too. There's a lot of shit that goes on with music, and I feel like these producers have a lot of work to do. It's not just like making beats and shit. I mean, you probably know that, don't you, Taj? Like,
Yeah, but my thing is, I think you said something about, the A&Rs don't want, us putting out certain music. But my thing is, if you got dudes like Puff and Jigga and Nas and Kanye, if they making all this money, like all together, let's say they worth, I don't know, $3 billion all together. If maybe that's off a little
I feel like
bit.
they have to sign something or they have to do something. Someone told me that they have to, this is going to sound really graphic, but someone told me like they have to do something really, really gay or really, really nasty. And like they can't expose, like it's something they have to do.
There's been stories, but that's something that I think that's something crazy, because I think they only come at certain people with that, because there's been a lot of people dead, in my opinion.
You
if
think
that
it would
happened
be
to everybody.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, I
A
think.
lot of people died off of the same shit.
I don't think that they come at everybody like, you know what I mean? Like I heard. You ever heard about the Tyrese had to do trade a sexual favor for the baby boy part?
Yeah, I've heard about a lot of actors and rappers.
I heard that Tupac
So
had to do this
I could
stuff.
see Tyrese doing that shit though.
Yeah, I could too.
You know what I mean? I can't
Man,
see
I don't-
nobody like.
I don't know, man. It's hard for
He
me
went
to
through that
say.
big ass
I
depression.
can't see
shit.
DMX doing no sexual favor.
I don't know, man. It's
You
hard
can
for me
see
to
DMX.
say who
Yeah.
who would do something like that and
Shit.
who wouldn't. It's hard for me to say that.
You'd be surprised.
Cause you'd be surprised. Like I've seen people
I don't see
who
DMX.
I wouldn't think do certain things.
I mean, I heard Lloyd Banks did certain things for certain things.
Maybe I
But
don't know, but
I
who
don't
am
wanna
I?
believe it.
Who-
I mean,
I
I
can't-
feel like we'll never.
You'll
know.
never know. I don't
Unless
think you'll
they
ever
just
know.
expose somebody and just be like, "This is what the fuck we had to do."
Unless you see the tape on some internet site and this is what they doing.
Yeah.
And even then, you gotta question it because Photoshop is a monster. You can do whatever. if you just think about it like this, if you've ever seen a movie where somebody got their head cut off or guts pulled out, and you've seen them in another movie later down the road,
Yeah, that was all Photoshop.
you know what I'm saying?
made.
Hollywood can do a lot of things. That's all I'm saying.
What happens in Hollywood stays in Hollywood.
Does it? I don't know. But with that, family, hey, listen. You are tuned into the Pure Black Dope podcast with Taj AlexandHer, Webb Primo, and Sam the Psychedelic. And we are out of here.
Peace.